Okay. Warming up, I think it's safe. Spreading links.
Spreading the love.
Inviting people. Oh.
Your mouse is being difficult?
No, I think my computer is going to reset.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, and the covering.
Let me tag you in the Facebook post. And then get the link.
Visible. Yeah. Visible. Yes, video is running. We're all in maroon. Maroon.
Be careful. Where are you going with that? What am I looking for? Studio.
Hey, Karen. Nice to have you with us again. Hey, Kenny. Yes, you are early. Please do share the link while the show has not started, but tonight is a quarantine check-in episode, which means we'll probably talk about anything that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But yes, please spread the link, invite your friends, and we shall start in a few minutes.
Okay, I have tweeted. We just finished this week's Drag Race. It's like, okay.
I think we can officially start because it's just a check-in episode, so it's not a topic specific.
That's true.
So we can just at least start talking about stuff already.
Okay.
No?
Let me fix my
That
phone.
kind of makes sense considering it's a check-in episode. And with that, the duck has started. This is Toby.
Quack. And this is Rocky.
That's how it works.
You're gonna have to explain that. You're gonna have to explain that.
This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, a little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
You lost internet, didn't you?
Yes. And I realized I'm in my reading glasses. I can't see
It
anything.
is completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. It's a quarantine check-in episode because we try to do these episodes to make sure that everyone's okay. It's our way as well of just talking about anything and not worrying too much on preparing episodes. We will still have, of course, episodes specific to topics, but we like doing these check-in episodes as a way to just relax and still have you as part of that experience.
Yeah, we just all hang out. It's a safe space and all that. And although the time for your glasses with the shark.
Yes, the sharks are my glasses holders. Yeah.
Demonstrate.
And then, so if it's long term, I put it here, but if it's short term, I have it held there, so I can easily grab it later.
I'm surprised it's not in the mouth. Oh, because there's a USB in there.
USB goes to the mouth. Because our sharks are data conscious.
What does that even mean?
Hmm?
What does that even mean?
You really want me to explain?
Try. You're just trying to bluff me off.
Yes.
Without irony though, is that we scheduled this post last week and just thinking when we worked out the lineup. We actually haven't worked up this week's lineup, so that's gonna be a challenge. But we worked it out well before, and then so much has happened this week. So my gosh.
It's been heavy on a personal level because of things beyond our control.
yes.
It's been heavy on an environmental level, whether it's government or literally just the temperature, the humidity.
Yeah,
It's been heavy in terms of responsibilities. We've been juggling a lot of work and a lot of other things to keep in mind.
first quarter storm at work. So many things going on. I think a lot of companies, especially like because we're in like moderate sized companies, then it's a lot of extra hustle. It's a lot of trying to ensure that we have a pipeline of clients despite this global pandemic and in the way of things. So it's been a lot of work. Um, yeah, I was kind of hoping that on the one hand that we would eventually move away from these episodes, that we wouldn't have to do check-ins, but it definitely still feels like we have to because things are weird. Things are very, very weird. So I guess first off, I mean, the elephant in the room is that, hey, it's ECQ tomorrow. Welcome back. Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair,
we're not against.
we're not
the need
against
to
the
be
need
safe.
for it. And I think that on the whole, that this is what we as a general citizenry, as a population, have been asking for, that the government do more.
It just feels a lot of, you know, only now.
Yeah.
I mean, like you have stuff like limiting people coming in the country and all this and that. Only now, and we're 1 year in, and it's only now things are being thought of, and they're still just throwing blame at people, and it's just so frustrating.
I mean, welcome to our 55th week of quarantine, and that's the timer. That this is the beginning of week 55, and we're still doing shenanigans like making really big decisions that affect hundreds, if not thousands, of lives in the span of 24 hours. Our very first quarantine was something that was announced like very quickly also. If you go back to March 15, 2020, it was like that. We had a few days to get ready. And then today, it's this weekend, it feels like that again, that we had the big announcement yesterday, and now we just have to be ready by midnight because it's officially ECQ again by midnight. So that's pretty heavy. And and on our end, I think that we continue to kind of lean on games to get through this. Yeah. And then I know that in past quarantine check-ins, we they're like little observations. Like a lot of times I'm not in the mood to play board games when it's just me and Toby. And we've been trying to squeeze in time, and we've had weekends. Especially if you notice, we don't really do episodes anymore on Saturday. So we leave Saturdays just for gaming or just chilling and just hanging out and not stressing over things. So that's one. And then we still have the calendar of online games with different friends, and I think that we definitely rely a lot on that. And then even when some of those schedules get a little shaky, then it's like we try to make contingencies and backups upon backups. But it only goes so far.
And then on the personal level, I think it was Jovan who posted it. It's not just numbers anymore. We're starting to know people who are among those who are affected, if not have passed because of COVID, and it's that frustration because we're all. I mean, it would be oversimplification to say we are all, but as far as we know in our circles, we're all doing our best. We're not holding secret parties, which they're blaming as the reason behind it. I mean, I don't know. Campaigning around the nation seems like a more likely thing, considering safety precautions are not being done. But we're not holding secret parties. We're not sneaking off to out-of-town trips with false
COVID
test results and stuff like that. And even if you could say there are those who are doing that, those are still so much smaller in number compared to if there was a bigger response that was more organized and more laid out, and everyone would then have a clearer understanding of how things are. I mean, it's one thing to say curfews at this hour, But if you're not still making sure there's a proper way for people to be able to get home, then all you're really doing is getting a lot of people who'll be what arrested or captured or taken in because they're breaking curfew, and then they're again breaking safety regulations by all being in the same place. So it's that frustration of, we're all already trying to do our part, and we're all trying to be supportive and trying to still keep functioning, but you have a lot of these decisions that feel like they're willy-nilly last minute decisions, and it's always going to be our fault.
Mm-hmm. That I don't know. So I mean, like, and yeah, it's kind of downer to just rant about the government and the government response.
And we try not to do
we
that.
try
in
not
the show.
to, but then I think it's like this is usually the episode where we do.
It's an episode where we do because it's a year of trying to be understanding, and in some ways we have to at least be to validate our feelings.
Yeah, and
but
that
not make it the sole reason we're talking about stuff.
yeah. I think, and then like me, my main contention is like I think the biggest thing that maybe could have helped is that if our contact tracing efforts actually went somewhere sensible. I mean, for how many months now have we all been filling out all these different contact tracing health declaration forms, signing up for this or that app required by this government entity, municipality, and whatnot. I mean, like we reached the point where like the airports had their own app, and then the MRT was developing its own app. Each city has its own app. There's a national app that's kind of in limbo because they're trying to donate the app already, but the government's making all these change requests for a donation. So it's weird. And like I think I've seen more than a few statements on social media. Like, has anyone ever been contacted by a contact tracing effort? Like, if someone gets sick, does anything ever trigger? Do they contact the people who were at a particular establishment, restaurant, or mall at the time of a COVID person being there? I mean, I don't think so. And it's just I don't understand what's going on. And we're slowly moving towards like they're trying to make Safe Space the national app. They're trying to integrate it with all the databases, but it just hasn't happened yet, and it's been a year.
And then you get the frustration of comparing it to certain other things which seem to get resolved and passed so quickly.
Yeah.
And the timing doesn't even make sense why those are being given priority. So it's this ball of frustration.
And then we're seeing other countries, much further along in their rollout of vaccinations, and
or countries that have started to even open up to their
I mean,
their
like
activities.
even without vaccinations, because their case numbers have been like zero for so long,
and they were smart enough and willing to actually close their borders long enough for a proper effect to happen on their country.
Then there is definitely that grass is greener on the other side feeling, and you look at all these other updates and like, ooh, they're opening up and they're going back to work and all these things, and then we're going back to where we were. But we can only do so much. We can only continue to focus on things that we can control, and as much as there's a lot of frustration about what we see elsewhere and what we hope could be better. I mean, like in the day-to-day, from a day-to-day perspective, we start first with what's within our control to make sure those in our closest circles and those who are most important to us remain well and safe. And then I think that's like, then I can call it a good day. Like I just make sure that my family and our closer circle of friends are like generally okay. Then we'll go from there.
It might sound like we're being selfish, but we're just being realistic of what's within our scope and capacity. I mean, if everyone did that for their circle of friends, I think that is still a huge cascading effect of everyone in a better place because we're all making sure everyone's being safer and stuff like that. And I know it's always disheartening when in our case, we've seen some friends who are like, birthday naman eh, so they'll have a party and there's like 20 of them. And it's just annoying, and it's hard not to have some level of I don't want to say the German word because I know I'll mispronounce it. But then when suddenly there's news, okay, positive finding, Eh kasi nagpa-party kayo eh.
Then I will say it for your Schadenfreude.
Diba? And it's that
Yeah.
it feels guilty to
You
want
don't
to
want to
react
rub
that
it in
way.
and like celebrate that
But at the
they're
same
sick.
time, if you just didn't do those parties, so yeah, it's that sort of thing.
So yeah, I think then we just try to focus on the good things, the little things, or what what's working. I
Or,
mean,
or we look at what we can see as distractions to help us at least stay sane,
mhm.
because it just hurts so much when you try to look out your window and see the bigger picture. Um, Karen mentioned we are prisoners in our own homes, and while some will of course say, eh, buti nga may bahay kayo and all this and that, it doesn't remove the fact that, for some people, there is such a thing as house arrest. It
Yeah.
is a punishment for breaking certain laws. And we have willingly, I don't know, embraced this because we have to, because of the pandemic. So it's not beyond understanding to realize how heavy and stressful this is for us.
Mhm. So, I don't know. Then I was just looking at this is a random observation. I was looking at my Fitbit data recently, and on the whole, that like my heart health rating as determined by Fitbit, they have their scale. I don't fully understand it. So I definitely in the average, the good range in the last whatever months. But I kind of noticed that there's a weird uptick in my resting heart rate in the past few weeks. And I don't know where that's coming from because I'm still exercising and I'm still eating the same way. And I wonder if it's related to temperature. I wonder if it's related to sleep. I wonder if it's related to stress. And I think there was like I've been seeing a lot of posts going around. I think there's a thread on Twitter about people noticing that they are more irritable than normal. And I think we commented on this on a previous check-in, and I think it's totally valid. And just um, be aware that we are all. I always say this in these episodes, but we are all under a constant
Yeah.
amount of stress. It's like when you're exposed to noise and you stop hearing the noise because your body has acclimated to it. But um, but it's still there and it's still draining on you. It's the very nature of noise
And,
pollution.
and it's those moments you notice wherein you suddenly end up snapping because you're angry about something. But then you're also self-aware that why am I so angry? Why am I reacting so
yeah,
much
it's
to
like
this?
this is not my normal reaction to something
And
of this caliber.
In our case, at least, we're kind of reading each other and we're kind of realizing, okay, he's in that place. I shouldn't. Because, the tendency, ba't ka galit? Di ba? That's a normal way people tend to react and think sometimes na parang someone's having a bad day, he'll let's say during the dishes may nabasag and he gets angry and the other person is parang magagalit pa ng galit siya.
Yeah,
But
and you
now-
pile on.
And now, given our case, we all have to be keenly aware that when those moments happen, it's not intentional. It's not even desired. It's just sometimes it just explodes outwards, and then that's when you'll realize, okay,
Yeah, I mean, like, and I think Toby and I are lucky in that respect that the way that we get along, the way that we cohabitate, is that we're very used to these ebbs and flows, and then we've never been the sort to like egg each other on and add on and drive things to an argument. Because I know, and a classic example, just like last Monday for the board game episode, and then you dropped a game and the cards kind of spilled out, and you were super upset.
And at the same time, I was like, oh my God, why am I reacting so much?
Yeah, and it's like I didn't know, and then I just kind of left you first, and I figured, well, let's do the episode, and then it'll be fun, and we'll get through it, and then we just, and then we just sorted the cards after. But then, but yeah, it was a weird flare up, and just one of many, and I've had my fair share of things, and I know there's like even like social media interactions that I just have no tolerance for these days, and I keep like on Twitter, I keep muting people. I keep muting people. I keep muting phrases. I keep finding new ways to limit what I see, and it's crazy. And the same thing with Facebook. Like I have a lot of people I don't get their updates.
My shares, it's like the land you're standing on has been tilting slowly and you've started to adjust. But it's still hard to keep balance and try to see things in the same flat surface we've been used to.
That is a
before.
very interesting analogy.
Mhm.
Why are you on a boat? No,
And it makes sense because it also has that you start to adjust, but then you adjust thinking you're still in the same flat plane. So the moment, let's say, you put your glass down and it tumbles and breaks, you're so angry.
yeah.
But that's because you forgot and wait, you're still on that tilted plane. It's a very good analogy.
Ooh,
if I
it reminds me of that stupid that Kia cinema in Cubao, where all of our seats were like
Yes.
angled forward. It's like, this is so wrong.
Karen shares. It's the never-ending stress. Yeah, the displaced outbursts. Yes, precisely.
And and we talk about it not just to complain about it, but also just to be aware of it.
To
And
share, you're not probably alone if you've been feeling similar things. Yes, we have to.
yeah, I mean, nothing. I mean, we're lucky to be living together, as I always say. In this
In many ways, this is the equivalent of group therapy,
yeah.
minus the actual therapy, but just the sharing to know you're not alone in dealing with it.
No meds, but we have food, so that'll have to be enough for now. And then our little game nights and like as our little escapisms. Man, online gaming is like been oddly helpful. We haven't gone in full tabletop simulator. I still feel like it's too much effort versus the enjoyment of the game. I get it though, because it opens up more games.
Yeah, and I think tabletop simulator works for people who want to learn at a certain pace.
That's true.
Because the game is ever going to wait for you, since you're the only one who will enact the systems.
Yeah.
Whereas the
app things keep moving.
the app things are moving like, wait, what's going on? I don't understand. And you're the one who's pressured to understand the game. So the problem with tabletop simulator is you don't know if what you're doing is really
right.
part of the game.
Yeah.
So it's a bit trickier in that part.
But I'm still super thankful for it. I feel like we've all gotten a lot, especially our circle of friends. We've all gotten a lot better at managing these games. And every new Steam sale is a new opportunity to fill in the gaps so that we have more common games that we can play. I don't mind that we still have we have staples now that we keep playing in game nights. That it's Terraforming Mars, Lords of Waterdeep, which I feel people are playing at random times today. Wingspan, Viticulture. We have, so many of us have Viticulture. I love it.
And then we're also realizing now that there's the
remote play,
which many of you might not realize it's something you can use to play with friends who don't have a copy of the game.
I mean, it's good for games without hidden information or cooperative games. So Pandemic has been like our chief thing. It's a bit of an internet hog, I will admit. But it has potential.
It basically allows you to run the game, and then others basically watch your feed. Because when you activate remote play, you are given that feed, and you are able to take control of the cursor.
Yeah.
So there isn't a fixed system on whose turn it is to control the pointer. So you still have to communicate.
That's the pro and con. Like if everybody's moving their mouse, it will fight for control with the remote host.
But it's an amazing way to still play when you have games which others might not be able to afford getting.
Yeah, or just haven't had the chance to get it. I mean, it's funny that our Steam collection has started to shift significantly towards board games. I had picked up a number of them in humble bundle sales, which was good. But then it's still a lot of games where I'm the only one who has it, or only Toby has it. So it's something to experiment, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Because gaming is our primary socialization escape mechanism.
And then there's music. We've been diving a lot into music we like. I've been diving backwards to a lot of old music. I know it's been again looking for that familiar sound. There's been new music from artists, like for example, Nick Jonas has a new album, but I haven't even bothered.
I didn't know that.
Spaceman. He has this weird sweater on, but I haven't
too much information about an album you don't know about.
But I haven't even listened to the song, only because I don't know, it feels stressful. I feel like I might get disappointed and I'll get more annoyed with the day.
Wow, is your bar really high for Nick Jonas?
No, but I feel like when there's new music now, if I end up not liking it, may inis ako lalo.
That's fair.
So I've been sticking to old stuff I like, which had me going as far back as Enya.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I miss this. This is nice. This is soothing.
And I get that with my morning exercise routine. Like, I think a few months back, I was definitely hitting more intense stuff, and then like I'd be sore, but then like I screw it. I want to achieve more results. I'll keep pushing. But then, especially this March, and then combined with the weather, I have a lot more days where like I'm just not in it, and then it's like okay, and then that my answer to that's always then I'm gonna do more yoga, and then the yoga. It now I'm now at a point with yoga where I'm surprised that um, I'm no longer 100% consciously thinking. Like I hear the voice prompt telling me what to do,
But
and
they're already
then
doing
my
it.
body is like already following. And there are times like when I start to focus, oh, how did I get here? And like
Because you've been
did
doing it.
I was
without
worried if I skipped a step or two.
You become rote.
Yeah, I mean, like, where it's like the muscle memory is strong and all that, and I understand the flow of positions. But it's nice because it's my meditative activity.
So Karen shares Little Nas X.
That's you haven't seen I haven't watched the video. I've only seen like
Is
gifs
it
and
supposedly
clips.
the one with him giving a lap dance
Yes.
to someone? Yeah,
Yes,
I haven't
yes.
seen it, but I heard about it. Mai also shares, listen to the Carpenters this week.
Yeah, like today, like in between, like I did a more active workout, and then I did yoga. But then in between, because I was trailing off of songs from my O-Bar playlist, I wandered back into Disco by Kylie Minogue. And then I started wanting to sing the different Kylie Minogue songs, and I couldn't leave.
Because you saw that the lyrics.
Yeah,
were
I was like
strong.
singing the lyrics along, and then yay, that was stupid fun. It delayed and it ate up more time, but it was worth it. I still haven't learned the real groove dance despite the instructional video that was released by Kylie. It's hard, guys. It's hard. Or at least I'm like, what? My arms are gonna be here, and then the thing. Okay, so stupid stuff. But I don't know. I'll do anything. I don't think we're gonna start a TikTok anytime soon. But yeah, music is interesting escapism still.
And then we started exploring some new shows as well.
Mm.
So one of them that we seem to be enjoying is Debris.
Yes,
Which-
very strong fringe feels, but
Yes.
not full fringe feels.
With an interesting cast because currently I don't like either of them.
It's
But
interesting.
but I'm not minding not feeling attached to them.
Mm. And that kind of helps, like just let the story kinda
Yeah.
take you.
I'm kind of more interested in the overall story than I am with the characters.
Mm.
Superman and Lois, we haven't continued beyond the first episode, but
Oh, yeah.
we've gotten some of those. And the first episode was a nice feel for something that was DC.
What's the title? Debris. The show that we were talking about that's fringy is Debris. I don't think it's in Hulu yet. I will check. Or we add the request, and then but yeah, and then Superman Lois is not bad. It's like nice DC feels. It makes you want to go back and like I know we haven't caught up with the last season of Supergirl. I like that side of the DC universe more than the grim, gritty DC EU universe. So that's still more fun. Yeah.
There's Big Sky, which I'm hoping to start only because it's got Ryan Phillippe in it.
Big Sky, not mine.
You know, Big Sky.
What's the premise?
Him and the two sisters.
Okay. Do these sisters have a name?
So it's a crime drama thriller by David E. Kelly,
Okay, it's David E. Kelly. That's
based on the
promising.
Highway series of books.
Oh, is that why these books keep going on sale?
See, so it's you have the two sisters, and you have Ryan Phillippe as Cody Hoyt, a troubled former cop who runs a detective agency. So I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. I'd like to watch this.
The CJ Box Highway Quartet. How much are you? Okay, I'll think about it. But okay, that's interesting. Mitch shares she still has her Korean drama variety shows as an escape. We still haven't explored Running Man. So like I signed up for View, figuring that we'll watch it eventually, but then we haven't invested time in it yet. So I'm just juggling other stuff. Like finished American Gods, that didn't leave me happy. Karen, recommendation for Amazon Prime, I still go back to the older stuff on Prime Video. Mozart in the Jungle, Transparent.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are solid. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Fleabag. But then like the newer stuff is like half and half. If you I don't know, then if you want like super violent stuff, which Invincible season 1 is starting, but
Magicians is fun.
but it's
If
not
still there.
complete. It's not complete. So it's like they only have seasons 1 and 2 on the Asia version of Prime Video.
Mm.
I'm still not gonna recommend Utopia, but
Unless you find the original Utopia.
yeah. Let me double check. While we're here. Oh, I haven't taken the time to watch their sequel to Coming to America, which I'm intrigued. I mean, like, I'm not exactly a big fan of Coming to America, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind exploring that. Oh, The Pack. We watched The Pack, which is a reality show with dogs. That was nice. That's good. Feel good fare. And it doesn't feel like the dogs are props. It's really each human and their dog is a team. And the challenges are designed that certain parts must be done by the human and certain must be done by the dog.
And you can see the dogs are really enjoying it.
Yeah, and it was super cute. And they made sure to teach all the dogs particular tricks that they all need to be able to do. And then that kind of worked out. Oh, in terms of other stuff, if you haven't watched Upload, that's a good series. That was the one, the VR after death type thing, but that was pretty good on Prime Video. Modern Love was cutesy, but nothing amazing. We still haven't finished Electric Dreams. Haven't really started it actually. The rest, I don't know. I don't know. Making the Cut. It's like lazy reality show fare. It's Heidi Klum again and Tim Gunn doing fashion, so I'm okay with that. And such. Okay. What else?
Comics. Comics. I've been diving into the Millerverse comics.
Oh yeah, this is Toby's interesting exploration.
Recently finished Jupiter's Legacy, and now I'm going through Jupiter's Circle.
Because these Miller stuff are getting adaptations.
I think the reason I'm liking it though is less because it's Miller and more because it's quietly who illustrated it.
You are a sucker for quietly art.
And the new part, Jupiter's Circle, is no longer quietly. So I'm like,
oh, then you're struggling again.
Yeah.
I get that. Kenny says getting back into watching cartoon shows and watching the newer series like Infinity Train, Milo Murphy's Law, and The Owl House. Wow, I only know Infinity Train. I don't know these other things. Yeah, for me, I'm all over in comics because I think comics is still like my filler, quote unquote filler, for like making sure I continue to keep progress with books so that I still need to average a book a day read so that I don't fall behind my Goodreads challenge. And it's because on my Kindle, I'm still reading Killing Commentadore by Haruki Murakami, which, like any Murakami book, is a struggle. It's always a challenging read. It's quite long. His last few books have all been quite long. It's not my favorite so far, and I think that's adding to my delay, but it's not terrible. There's a lot of intriguing moments. But that's, it's taking a while. And then I'm padding it with audiobooks and whatnot. So I'm still ahead. Like I'm still like at least a dozen books ahead of my reading goal. Recently I've been reading the different Doctor Who books. I'm in the 12th Doctor books now. The Doctor Who comics. And then I getting up to date with a bunch of Spider-Man stuff because I'm always into Spider-Man. But I think I'm gonna start reading a lot of the Sam Wilson Captain America comics to help me with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I got some Winter Soldier stuff I haven't explored. And then I have more. Because there was a recent Marvel buy one get one sale, so I can finally revisit the ongoing Dawn of X books. I forgot to slot also getting Sword of X, so then I don't have it yet. I'm like, it's okay, I can wait. I never run out of comics to read. And then novel wise, I'm also still reading an old Doctor Who one, but it's these Target ones are struggling. But I'm down to my last two Target books. It's crazy that I've worked through them. finally. They're physical books, and they're like, ooh, funny. And then I think I want to, after I finish those, I want to finish my physical bathroom book is going to become the rest of the number one ladies detective agency. I think I haven't officially finished those, and yeah, I'm still competitive reading essentially. But it's my coping mechanism. Reading is still a safe escape.
Mhm.
Safe escape, safe escape, safe escape. 10 times fast. Okay, what else?
Then we had a few new games. Targi 2-player game, so that's pretty
We
fun.
played Targi last night and it was super tight. And then I wet it.
I feel bad that it's a game that we won't be able to play with more than just another player.
Yeah, but then at 2-player we're
Break
already
it.
like, get out of the way.
But
Get
it
out
was
of the
so
way,
break
Toby.
with more than 2 players, but it has a very nice.
And then I posted an Instagram photo of it, and I was surprised that the designer, the creator, replied that hope I like it, and like, oh my god, don't we super enjoy it.
Mm-mm.
But it was just wow, super random engagement from his IG account, and he like barely follows anyone. He barely has posts, and almost all his posts are about Targi. But he also mentioned the print and play borders and things like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, that was a little highlight of my social media day.
We also got Mariposas, which we haven't tried yet because it looks like it's a bigger game. But it's interesting. I'm anxious to try the Scooby Doo Escape from Haunted Mansion.
Yes,
It's an escape room, but you play the different characters from the Scooby Doo show. Because each of them offer a different way
Jinkies.
to deal with things.
Hmm.
And then we
I actually want to explore above and below. Like, I want to sit down and play that game and go through
Campaign.
the story. Yeah. Kenny shares Milo Murphy's Law is the latest series by makers of Phineas and Ferb,
yeah.
which is another show I never got into.
So in that show, the kid basically has all the worst things happen around him. So we made a game based on that.
You're aware. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
But
Okay.
we made a game for that show wherein you're trying to fix everything because as he's walking, manholes open and this and that, and you're like,
Okay. Then the Owl House's creator worked on Gravity Falls and DuckTales. Speaking of, I want to catch up on DuckTales. I know it's over. I know it's on Hulu, which is one of the reasons why I'm like, I wanted to. We haven't been watching Hulu, and sorry, this is an in friend reference, but and I wanted to see if it's in the library. Oh my god, that it is! And even the original DuckTales, which I think I'm more excited to watch. But little things, and I think I can move on from a bit like from our crime fair as our work fair, and I think I want to do stupid cartoons and like lighter things this week because this week, guys, this week, woohoo! Okay, I am thankful for the recent like drag queen guest episodes we've been doing on Baduy Pride. We're nervous in the sense that we're outside of our comfort zone because we've started to invite queens that we're not as close to.
Yeah.
Like our first few are obviously queens that we have super close relationship with, but then the last few is like more of them were like people we don't know, and then we really just wanted to support what they're doing, their causes and stuff, and really kind of help Baduy Pride be more of a platform also for them.
Yes.
We may not be a very big platform, but we just want to add to that. So like, so we had the Drag Academy, and then this last Friday we had the Divine Divas.
I think what I like is that they have their own shows, but with our show, they kind of got to explore things they don't normally do. So there were some comments about how they didn't think about this, but the show made parang, oh, no? And it's stuff. It's moments like that which I feel happy about because that means we were able to contribute to some way.
Yeah, and then I think that's also like the different spin of Baduy Pride. Like it's in the end, it's still me and Toby and
all of
Toby
you.
and Toby will vomit thesis statements and whatnot for discussion, and it gets really big. So which is cool, and I think I'm so used to it because I get this all the time from Toby when some of them are like, whoa, cerebral, insightful, some of them are just like, why is it orange? You know, like why do they call it orange? And then it will just go on from there. And that's our banter at home.
Mhm.
So this week, for Good Friday, we will have Antutan Says, and they're about to have their Zoom show in like 5 minutes, which
Mm.
I don't know how we're gonna watch together because I also like have to blog and stuff. But we're definitely excited to have that group on, and then but then I don't know what next. Like we haven't figured out the schedule this week
Yeah.
and things.
I'm hoping to try to reach out to some other friends. Like, hopefully, I can reach out to comic creators,
Mm.
ask them if they're willing to guest. I'm thinking of maybe trying to reach out to some of our friends who are game designers. But of course, it's tricky because we don't know what time they can show up. What? Why are you staring at me?
Toby's friends who are game designers.
I'm talking about, Thomas and Nathan and
Oh, not like Jim Pinto and even Yue Rosenberg. Okay,
It's
okay,
just-
okay. The other day, because we were commenting,
It's
a
just
friend
Facebook.
a friend shares a birthday with Yue Rosenberg, the guy who designed such epic worker placement games as like
We're
Caverna.
not close
Okay.
friends. It's
But-
just Facebook.
But Toby's evidence of knowing when Yue Rosenberg's birthday is his Facebook birthday notification list. So with his list, it's like, wait, it's like you're Facebook friends with Yue Rosenberg? When did that
Maybe
happen?
people just add when they know you like their game. So it's nothing. It's nothing.
Right? It's like, what is this? Who am I? Who am I married to? Not all these friends.
I'm not making claims that we're close friends. Okay, it's
I
just
know,
that
I know, but
I
it's
did.
it's just like, wow, you actually added him on Facebook.
Yeah, because it's nice.
Because
to
you
be-
also have like Matt Leacock, don't you?
I just
He
like.
does. He does.
I
He does
just
have
like
Matt Leacock.
sending a message to say thank you for your game because it inspires or I appreciated playing it.
Who else? Who else do I know?
It's just them. Anyway,
Wow, let's get them on the show.
You
That
don't-
would be awesome.
I don't think we can shoot that high yet. I'm not sure we're ready for that. But friends.
And then we'll see Toby, super fanboy, like when he met David Mack. That was awesome.
I'll embarrass myself again. See, look on screen. My nose is like paler now than my face because I'm like blood
Mitch is
draining.
like, si Vlada na lang ang kulang sa list.
Okay.
Double check if you already tried adding Vlada Shevatel. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Because that's like how Jim Pinto started. Jim Pinto is because he made he made Dominar. We're like, ooh, hey, let's mess with
See, I'm not.
Wow, good job. But you have two mutual friends. Who are your mutual friends with Vlada Shevatel? Let's see, huh? Who are the two? Matt Leacock and Yue Rosenberg. I rest my case. It's so funny. Ay, naka, ano,
It's a professional. As a designer, you want to reach out to the people who inspire you.
of course, of course.
Karen saying, Ablada, not yet. I'm not ready yet. It's scary, to send the request. Because you always have that feeling they'll be reacting like, who the hell are you?
Who you?
So, But yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Ah. Anyway, and then what else? Excited for new games coming up. So Adventure, which is a pulp role-playing game where you play pulp heroes, originally released as part of the
Aeon Trinity.
Aeon Adventure Aberrant game line, which was called the Trinity line, has now been kickstarted as part of the Trinity Continuum, which is the new edition of the game. So we're very excited about that because that system wasn't bad at all. It was close enough to the original.
Actually, yeah, the base Trinity system was actually closer to Adventure than anything else.
Yes.
So
So we were
That has
actually
potential.
happy, and we're hoping to see that come out soon. Lacuna has its new expansion, which was a book called Road or Read. read only and destroy, which was basically new locations that are about the Blue City. So I'm hoping to run games based on
Which is a
that.
kind of an ironic name because reading is something you actually need a special skill to do when you are in the Blue City. It's like, why?
And then there was a secondary additional expansion released as part of the bonuses, which was I showed it. I showed it to you. It was like a few new lists of new mentors, new techniques, and new names that you can use in the game. So
Karen shares she still hasn't backed Gloomier. Okay, in all honesty, I love Gloom more for the art than the gameplay. And then like we've tested it, we admittedly we own most of the original Gloom sets. We haven't played them a lot. And then it's hard also to like we call it a storytelling game, but it's like people aren't always super into it. People tend to game it and think about the system more, which is fair. So it may not get a lot of play. I've backed it. I think I have enough. I have enough room to back it. If it's tight for you, Karen, I wouldn't recommend getting it. I think.
Yeah.
I will promise that we will play it as many times as you want to play it. But the gameplay in itself isn't super fun. I think the card concept is great. The whole plastic transparency thing, stacking is great, but it's not like it's not the most amazing
I think
game.
what makes Gloom miss slightly for me is in as much as the concept is sound and the execution was great, since there's so many icons,
Yes.
you don't feel like you're telling the story.
You get very
strategizing
distracted.
instead to just maximize the icons, and that kind of ruins the story building for me compared to, let's say, Once Upon a Time, wherein
it's
icons,
literally all about the story,
Yeah.
and then it's simplified iconography. So there, that's how we, it's like if you have the money for it and you're comfy with it, sure, get it, because it's a small card game. It's not gonna take up a lot of space. I know we share space problems, but yeah, I mean, like, but if not, no pressure. I promise we'll play. That's like that's easier than that, and I'll show you what the cards are like.
And then there's the strangeness of Suburbia Second Edition.
Yeah, I feel like Suburbia Second Edition is like people who didn't back the collector's ed, but they want to take advantage of the fact that they've redesigned the tiles and the like. So and then it's still like not the full benefit of the collector's edition because you don't get one box that fits everything. And then parang they're doing second edition Suburbia and then the expansions is a separate box. So it's a little weird. Mitch is confirming. Are you friends with Ignazi?
I'm thinking, but I can't write the name, so I'm trying to find a copy paste one because I'm spelling it wrong. I'm always terrible with names.
I know he had Facebook problems because his Facebook stuff got deactivated for a while, which was weird for Portal. So he had to work out of the Portal Games US one. I slightly interact with him on Instagram and Twitter because, like, but to be fair, he's like that with everyone. If you reply Ignazi, there's a big chance he's going to reply. He's a really nice guy. And ongoing. Speaking of Ignazi, there's ongoing for the collector's edition of Robinson Crusoe. Oh my God! For a game that didn't need miniatures, there are so many new miniatures announced for this campaign, and I'm kind of excited for it. And one way or another, we're gonna get it.
Yeah,
we just don't know how yet.
We're just waiting to finalize certain details, but we are super excited about it.
Because Toby has an entry in the Book of Adventures, and then we're just not clear. Like, is he just getting a copy of the Book of Adventures, or is he getting other stuff? Because they kind of sent him a note like, "Don't pledge right away" or something. So we're trying to figure that out. But I super want to get it.
So it's just a fan page. There's no personal.
Yeah. Then it's not enough, or it's probably in Polish. But yeah, I mean, like for Ignazi, you can just connect to his public stuff, and he's like he's very responsive. Then, like I know when we posted a photo of how we were playing detective over video, he reshared it on the Portal thing, and like, ooh, that's cool. So yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully by next week we'll find out
this
more.
Week. Yeah. But hey, guys, it's Holy Week. Wow. Not that this is a thing for me. Ironically, I have work until Thursday. I only have Friday off because that's the only holiday in Singapore for Holy Week. So that's not a big deal for me. Um,
I saw someone selling canvas, which I was tempted to get only because it's the Gloom meets Dixit game.
Canvas, Elsa.
So think Gloom, you're
Okay.
layering cards, but think Dixit to create paintings.
Oh, that sounds complicated.
But it's so pretty.
So it uses overlay items also.
Yeah, there. So you build the painting.
So the card stack and then on your little easel. That's cute.
So
That's super
I'm
cute.
tempted to get it, but I don't know. I'm looking at my budget.
Yeah, Toby still has like a
See?
bunch of games
So
that
it's
keep
like
arriving at
Background,
the siege.
bed element, butterfly element, power element.
And is that like
Prince.
Freddie Mercury?
Mhm.
Okay, in
Because
drag.
there's categories you try to build for.
That's really pretty. Okay, I mean, I would support this. I'm at the end of I'm at my end of month where my cash flow is small, but because I've allocated it to everything else. But hey, April is just around the corner. I'm gonna have money again if you need help. So I think I'd like this. I think our friends would like this too. Definitely.
Yeah, it's tempting, but I don't know. I'll see. It was in the secondary market availability. Somebody probably already bought it. But
I'm very frustrated. We're at this point where I think you're super strict again, and then like, I mean, like it's not like again we weren't exactly having parties or anything, but we were able to have like a friend or two like over for a couple of games, and then we'd wait 2 weeks to see if we're all okay. But I wouldn't mind. I was hoping to like set up more of those one-off. Oh my God! Wait, is that a copy of DC Overpower?
yeah,
Oh my
someone's selling
gosh.
11 packs.
Oh my gosh, I remember that crazy thing. Anyway, and it's just trying to figure that out. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that again, guys. We have so many board games that I want our friends to try. I want to. I mean, as much as it's fun to play a game
Okay,
on its
nabili na
own.
yung canvas. Well, at least never served na.
Okay.
So the seller has pulled it from the list. Yeah.
Yeah, get in line in case there's a chance for canvas. That's Toby's swiping through the secondary
Because
market.
that's how it worked for, I don't know. What was that other one we got? I can't remember which one that was.
This Targi thing though is super amazing. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting Targi. And now Toby has this game Mariposas, which is a butterfly game.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be potentially, we haven't played it yet, the butterfly equivalent of there. It's right up there under Fagalove. Oh yeah, butterfly equivalent of Wingspan. And like, how deep do you want to get into butterflies? That's gonna be the game. So we'll see. As gamers who do not own physical copies of Wingspan, it's funny that we have this.
Yes. I'm trying to remember what that other game was. Because it was a game where I think someone else already bid for it.
Was that New York Zoo? No. Was it Above and Below? Above and Below was a friend. So New York Zoo was like one of your weird, interesting finds. This I love too. This I want to make sure everybody plays New York Zoo because it's so good.
I can't remember.
It's by Toby's friend Yui Rosenberg. Sorry, Toby's Facebook friend Yui Rosenberg. And this is not saying he's your friend. He's your Facebook friend.
So, ay nako. What else? Tempted for the upcoming set of a lot of new exit stuff. It's those 2-part exits with the puzzle included. So I shot a message to Gaming Library since they're the official distributors of
For
Cosmos games.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can pre-order to make sure we get those. And then beyond those,
we did the one exit na 2-part thing na, diba? That was that wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I think that wasn't bad.
I wouldn't mind getting more of those basically.
The what do they call these adventure games naman by Cosmos are quaint, but not as elegant as like the exit games, although
Yeah.
it has the advantage of replay value.
And I don't see us really going for all of them. I think
Yeah,
we're willing to let some of them
they're a little
pass.
kiddie. They're definitely a little kiddie. Definitely, they try to make it like point and click adventure games on the PC, but I
Mm.
think they took too much from the point and click adventure game genre
Yeah.
on PC. Like maybe some things didn't need to translate. I don't know. They could have kept the experience a little more fresh. Yeah. So talking about games is hilarious. Like, games is always the weird like it's the joy of yay more games, excited to play them with friends, but then we can't play them with friends, and then it's always that back and forth, and you
Mm.
know I'm sure friends do that. We're just rambling at this point about things that are like helping us stay distracted. How are you all doing and stuff? Well, how about you? How are you with the Lazada sale? They were joking in the comments that it's caused the ECQ. I only, you know what? I'm at a weird point where I keep buying baking supplies now on Lazada. I think it started when I got wax paper because we couldn't find wax paper in the supermarket, and then now I've shifted my keto supplies there because number one, they turned out to be better than what I was getting at the real food down the street, and then two, more and more I am eliminating the need to step out to
Mhm.
real food for organic stuff. So my almond flour, my psyllium husk, and now they have keto creamer, woohoo! Which is creamer that doesn't have carbs, but it has built-in grass-fed butter and MCT oil, so it's super high in fat, which is what you aim for in keto. And I used to have some from my sister.
Mhm.
She'd ship it over, but then so now like oh, there's a cheaper local alternative, so I'm game with that. So it's okay if we didn't buy anything. I mean, like the deals weren't actually great, and I think I only really got free delivery. That's like the only thing. And then the items I bought weren't heavily discounted, and I now know like even if it's not a sale, I'm still gonna buy them. So I'm just grocerying there.
Now I remember. It was the expansions for Sprolopolis,
Oh
which
yeah,
someone was selling, and I was like, may nauna na. And then I just messaged just in case na if it doesn't push through, I'm still willing to buy it. And then the person contacted me. So,
I don't know if you won that exchange.
hmm.
Because the person also convinced you to get a bunch of other button shy games, and suddenly Toby had this whole stack, which was part of what fell on one day.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like all these button shy games,
Mhm.
which I still want to take photos of. I still haven't done that.
Mhm.
But hey, button shy games are cute. A lot of them are two-player, one-player games.
Mhm.
Because of the sheer size, the limited size of these games. But
I feel Button Shy is like the other version of Oink games,
mm,
wherein they try to do games in a certain range of players and a certain range of complexity.
but I feel like Oink has really pushed the barriers more. And actually, Oink games are unusually big for their size. They're
Mhm.
more often than not minimum three players.
And surprisingly, and not surprisingly expensive because of importing.
In Japan.
So yeah, and then I guess lastly there was the temptation to buy the Armada stuff. You were eyeing those when they were listed in Fortress Games.
Yeah, I still want to add the rest of the Armada, Star Wars Armada ships to my collection. But I know I am buying them as collectibles and not as the game
Mhm.
because we're Toby and I are not great war gamers. It's like cute, but it's really not our gameplay. And it's the type where for the amount of time we lose to play Armada, because then we have to set it up and there's a lot of measuring and
Mhm.
stuff, and then like, then let's just play other things. Like
And
let's play Rattle Battle, grab the loot.
I also can't help but feel it might be a game we'll appreciate more maybe a year or two down the line when we start. Okay, this is nice measuring stuff, and
Yeah,
we'll have
yeah.
a better appreciation for it.
Mm-mm. Mitch is like, Oink games are not cheap, even in Japan. Oh wow, okay, then it's a distribution thing, or it's the amount, the size of the print runs, the complexity, and all that. But they're super cute. We have so many now. Toby's like been slowly building our Oink empire.
Yeah,
Like, how many do we have now? We have at least 7 over there, and then we have the one Oink game that has a very different box.
I do think I think I'm okay now with my Ryan Laukat collection because I was looking at some of the other stuff and I'm like not that enthralled anymore.
This is funny because we barely played any of them. I mean, we played some,
We
but
played
then like,
some, and they're not bad, but I'm also not finding myself super into them. So I'm not kind of.
yeah,
So I'm kind of like was Megaland and
Megaland is definitely like the highlight.
yeah,
That we that's has so much replay value.
because it felt just so fun and light to play. And then City of Iron looked pretty, but it feels clunky to play.
Yeah.
So we haven't really played it again.
I think Above and Below. I want to go back to Above and Below. Oh my God, Mitch is like, I have a new one. We'll send over there. Mitch, we haven't even like fully learned Near and Far for you. It's like it's embarrassing. We have to figure that out. It's still there. It's still just hanging out Near and Far behind us. Toby, stop looking at miniature market.
Because we haven't gotten that Targi expansion.
Okay. Funny story. So there's a bunch of games that we ordered pre-order during the last big sale. I forgot even what sale that was. I think it was Black Friday.
Yeah.
It was Black Friday on Miniature Market. But the problem is
we included pre-orders.
Yeah, I mean it was a lot of pre-orders. And then tuloy, the things that were in stock are waiting for the pre-orders to appear, and the pre-orders haven't restocked. So then our order has been stuck. Toby has actually ordered additional stuff on Miniature Market, and those have already made it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is stuff that gets shipped to my US PO box, forwarded here, and then so that's like 2 months, 2+ months to get over. So, yeah. Then now it's like, so we have this order of it's a group order on Black Friday that still hasn't released because it's, oh my God, there's a Martian flag.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
And I've been, I've tried now writing to them to ask, is there something we can do about
Can we
this?
separate the order?
Because it's now nearing a year. I have to be in half a year of waiting.
Yeah.
And I even stressed that, I've been buying from you since 2017. So I really feel bad about this, inability to own, to get this other stuff I've ordered from months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that they'll, offer opportunities. I'm hoping they'll say, okay, we'll send it separately, and then we'll just,
Yeah. I think at this point, it needs a customer service intervention moment because it's just crazy. Maya's like, she misses Above and Below. There was a point they usually played it at Bonnie. Yeah, I mean, I only got to try it that one time during an FGTC night.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were at a hotel. It was fun, and then I want to.
Do you go down the cave?
Yeah, I'm super into story, those kind of story elements, and like let's read from the book. I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
And it wasn't like Arabian Tales, which
Tales
was
of the Arabian Nights,
which was fun, but it also felt super random.
But it was
This one felt a little bit more
coherent
because you could buy stuff that will prepare you for the journey down below.
Yeah. Arabian is always like, are you a carpenter?
Or like
do you have this token?
And skill in talking. Okay, I'll talk to her. Roll fighting. What?
And Michiko says, Near and Far is far pa rin. Yes, it's just there. Look, Toby. Push. Near and Far. Karen has also not opened her Near and Far.
And then the new one looks nice. The Legendary Beasts, I think.
Yes, sir. Add Laukat.
Legendary Creatures.
Legendary Creatures?
Or Monsters.
Well,
which one was it?
Well, October 2020 yung Legendary Monsters.
No, might as well check. And then I'll just search Laukat after.
Nope.
No, it's not this one.
Laukat.
Yeah, let's search.
We're searching.
Okay. Islebound we have, Near and Far.
8-Minute Empire we have.
Yeah. And then the new one, the Ancient World
You're securing. Yeah. That's the one that's going from Bacolod? No, that's somewhere else.
No.
Toby has finally broken his only order from Metro Manila rule. Oh, okay, yeah. Toby's broken his only order from Metro Manila rule, and he is now something shipping from Bacolod.
That's
the Senji Kanai. Are you friends on Facebook with Senji Kanai?
No.
I'm just making sure.
I don't remember. I'll have to check.
Isn't that the real answer? He
I
doesn't
have to be
remember.
honest.
That he has taken the time. He has tried to friend other game designers.
And yun nga, when it doesn't work out, it gets stressful. So I don't want to think about it. So there's now or never, which is coming up.
What? Is that in the same line as above and below and near far?
And
He
then-
loves these duologies.
And then Sleeping Gods was his other.
that one parang didn't look.
So there, now or never. See?
Hey David, yeah, we're just like board game rambling at this point.
So now or never, far from the south, last ruin lies a cliffside village called the Monument. Generations protected the ancient shrine until a crystal meteorite descended. Fruitless attempts to expel the monsters. 20 years later, very long. Sorry. You compete to rebuild your best ancestral
Competitive
village.
strategy game for asymmetrical characters to play. Oh my
Yeah.
god, he's trying a
It's
root.
action drafting, hand management, tile placement, variable powers.
David just woke up super busy because of Lazada. Naturally, I totally understand. I'm hoping that it has been a good sale day for you. these Lazada event days are always stressful.
Sleeping
even for me.
Gods is a campaign game, and then it has you building stuff, building the game as you play.
Mm.
So there's exploration and there's
But I have to admit though,
Yeah.
these Laucat games, I mean, the art is always it's I mean it's his art style. It's their art style. It's just one style. But it super works and it's amazing how it lends how it lends itself to fantasy. Okay, that's Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
We're looking at the images of board game. Yeah, but that's like, hey, they was like it's a good sale despite the announcement of ECQ. Yeah, we'll just see how fulfillment deals with this week. I know, like I had struggles over for my work stuff, and like we had a bunch of birthday sales, and like sales were not where they needed to be, and we're driving traffic from outside Lazada to the Lazada shop page, and we were checking them and like, hey, add to cart activity is healthy. It's just they're just not checking out, so it may be more about the deals you're offering. So, yan nga naman oy, he clicked the Target expansion right away. Add to cart. Are you buying it right now?
I'm seeing if there's anything else na hindi pre-order.
Yan ka na naman. Yan ka na naman.
So this is pre-order. So again,
Yeah, if you're gonna get something on pre-order, separate it on its. I think that's our lesson for a miniature market. It's like everything, anything on pre-order, make it a solo thing and order it on its own.
it's still out of stock. I keep hoping this is now available.
Yeah, didn't you like have a lead on the James Bond expansion somewhere?
It was a different store completely, and I was worried if I should trust it.
Okay.
It was like some store that had its own website. So parang, do I risk it? Yeah.
Okay, we should probably wrap up because hey, Antutan Says is probably starting on Zoom now, and that would be interesting.
And then I guess to wrap up,
And we have to figure out our schedule for the week.
yeah, so we're still gonna think of what topics we'll cover for the coming week.
But the Pride Friday, Good Friday is going to be Antutan Says the drag queens as guests. So we're going to be talking on a Good Friday. Yay!
And then I really want to find how else we can expand on people we can pull in as guests. It's just always really tricky because, again, we're not like promising a large audience base that will watch.
Yeah, we're just chatting.
But,
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Mitch ordered a waffle pan.
I didn't order anything. I feel weird that I didn't order anything.
You don't have to order anything during
No,
these
I mean,
things.
I know there was stuff I was thinking of getting, but now suddenly I just don't feel like getting them.
It's okay. Because there's always going to be another event. Just,
Yeah.
check in with David. Like, when's our next big sale day?
Yeah. For like stuff that I wanted to get now, I don't really see the point in getting. Like, I was hoping to get certain clothes because I was thinking they'd be nice to wear in the office or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, I guess that's it. Ultimately, I think quarantine check-ins helping us all deal with the fact that things haven't really changed. Shop back always helps, which is tricky. Because now our favorite restaurant, Sariwan, has its own delivery service.
Dilemma. Do we continue to order through Food Panda and get shopback benefits? Or do
Do we
we
support
order
them more?
directly? Because to be fair, outside of sale events, Food Panda shopback for existing customers is now 0.65% shop cashback. That's pathetic. That's like nothing. That's pennies on the dollar. So, but it's still like free money. So I don't know. We're facing a dilemma with that. So
Mhm.
they've set up their own website.
And that's pretty much it, I guess. I guess that covers everything. Any last words?
I think that's about it. It just, so don't overthink the ECQ this week. I mean, like, it's stressful, it's annoying, but we've been through this before. We went through a longer ECQ period last year.
Mhm.
So we're going, things are generally going to be fine, at least on the very personal, your immediate circle level. Yes, the problems of the country are still larger. Yes, COVID numbers are definitely higher than we'd like them to be, but we take things one thing at a time for our shared mental health and and that of our family. So start with your immediate circle, keep that secure, keep that safe, and then if you have the capacity to, then you can reach out to other friends, but focus first on that immediate circle. I mean, don't overextend. Again, we're under a constant amount of stress to begin with that is changing the way we behave. So, um, one thing at a time.
And, always remember you're not alone. You have friends, you have family. Do not be afraid to reach out when you have to. In as much as we all will always feel like jahe to burden someone else with our problems, um, many of us can't help each other unless we're aware our help is needed.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid to reach out. All right. I guess that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us for this check-in episode. It's been very helpful. It's been very meaningful, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
If you have questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill out the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter, Altobino Shade, RG Sumiko.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. What has been working out for you? How are you coping? And what are the little wins that you want to celebrate? That's always good to write down or talk about any good things that are happening, especially when things seem so bleak or stressful or overwhelming.
Virtual hug.
Okay. Or, as Toby would say, leaves. Be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rafi.
And I'm Toby.
Who is a book.
We're not gonna tell them about everything. But yes, I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy Pride.
Thanks for watching. Biscuits.